I'm 37 weeks pregnant with my 5th baby. So it's officially term. Kinda can't quite believe that this is where I'm at. So I haven't actually done a pregnancy update since I was about 26 weeks. So quite a lot of time has passed. This pregnancy has been, it's been quite a challenge, like mentally and emotionally for me. And so a lot of that time I've just been kind of like dealing with that. Well, first things first, 37 weeks. Baby could come anytime now, and it would be considered a term pregnancy. So baby should be able to survive outside the womb with minimal assistance or no assistance. And anywhere between 37 weeks and 42 weeks is considered a term birth. Yes, so if you go over 40 weeks, you are not overdue. You are just post dates at that point. So my due date is the 22nd of June. I am almost fully expecting to go beyond the 22nd of June. I would be very surprised if this baby came before then, but it can always happen. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl, so this is a surprise for us, not something that we've really done before. I get very strong boy energy, and with Eden, I felt very certain that she was a girl. I'm not sure I ever had strong feelings with the other three, but, I think I'm just more used to kind of tapping into my intuition these days. Physical symptoms, basically heartburn is a feature every day in some capacity. I always have to have Rennie to hand just to help quiet down any flare-ups of heartburn because it's really uncomfortable, and I know that's a really common symptom of pregnancy, and it has been for all of my pregnancies at some point or another. So appetite is also very much reduced because of space, and also I find if I eat a big meal, not only is it just uncomfortable, but I get a lot of heartburn. Yeah, lightning crotch is happening more and more frequently, and also Braxton Hicks are happening more and more frequently. Some of them feel really quite intense, but nothing really like a proper contraction yet. Sometimes they feel like they're on the edge of being that, but I'm pretty seasoned these days, and I know when it's a real one versus a Braxton Hicks. No back pain, but as I fully expected, I do have issues with my hip joints, and they are hanging on in there for dear life. I haven't really gained a lot of weight. I'm about 7 kilos heavier than when I started, which is about 15 pounds, I think, ish. So it's all baby. It's all just like amniotic fluid, the baby, the placenta, the extra blood volume, yada yada yada. It's all just that. I don't really feel like I've changed shape a great deal. I may have gained a small amount of weight, but it's not very much, and I never really swell with any of my pregnancies, so yeah. I don't even get like pregnancy boobs. They have stayed the same. I've been nursing Eden throughout this entire pregnancy. I really thought she would stop, but she hasn't, and she still nurses for comfort from this side exclusively. And they both hurt, like so sensitive. It's been painful the entire time. That doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. In a short that I uploaded a few weeks ago, I mentioned that this one is producing colostrum now because Eden doesn't nurse from this side, and this side is still producing milk. But honestly, Eden is kind of freaked out by the fact that either of them produce anything, and the reason that she won't touch this one is because it tastes different. But this side, if I show her that there's milk there, she gets really weirded out by it. It's like she's forgotten that that's what they're for, and she uses this one just for comfort. Some more weirder symptoms that I've been having, and one of them is definitely something that I've experienced in pretty much all of my pregnancies except Leo, is my voice gets really tired and it sounds different to me. So today I'm having more of a kind of tired voice day, and some days it's almost like I've got laryngitis or something, but I haven't. It's just the relaxin hormone is going to be affecting all connective tissue, not just the ones that are related to pregnancy. So even things like my vision feels like it's been a little bit worse, and I've had to wear my glasses more with this pregnancy. My skin has been so dry. Like, my skin is dry anyway. I never have greasy skin. And then in pregnancy, it's just drying out even further. So I can see it on my arms sometimes if I haven't moisturized, that my skin is literally just like flaking. It's on the inside of my clothes, especially I can see it if I'm wearing black. I remember with Eden that after she was born, I went through this kind of like reptile phase where I kind of shed a lot of skin, and I'm anticipating that that will happen again. Another symptom that I've been experiencing that I can't really explain is problems with mostly my right ear blocking, but my ear isn't blocked by anything really. It's more to do with the tube that goes from your ear to your throat closing, and some days it's fine and I don't have that symptom at all, and other days it's like there all the time and it's really irritating. Generally speaking, I'm feeling a bit bored of being pregnant now. I cannot wait to get my body back and to have a few more options. When I'm like in bed, for example, I could lie on my front or my back and I don't have to choose one side or the other. Sleeping it's okay. Like, it's not the best sleep I've got, but it's not awful either. I have been feeling a lot more tired in the last few weeks, and Eden has been going through this phase of taking early naps. So when she's having a nap, I will generally have a little nap with her, and I feel pretty grumpy in the mornings, and then it gets to sort of early afternoon, and especially if I've had a nap, I will start to feel a lot more energized and better. I'm generally very active still, like active around the house, but I have not been going out for walks because it hurts my hips too much. They get too sore and achy after the fact, and also I just get so tired. With Eden, when I was pregnant with Eden, I was still walking to and from school without too much difficulty. With this one, I cannot walk to school and back, and I certainly can't do it twice a day. So John's been taking that on more, and he went away for like 12 days, so I had to get other people to help me because I didn't have the car. So yeah, that's been very different for me this time. The lack of mobility has been something I didn't really anticipate happening. And everyone's just like, oh, it's because you're older. And I'm like, thanks. Ow. There's that hip. I have had a few mental health difficulties with this pregnancy. A lot of it has been to do with what happened in my last pregnancy, so when I was pregnant with Eden, and what happened in the weeks leading up to her actually being born, and then the time after that point where I don't know if I had postpartum depression, but it felt pretty damn like it, and it lasted for about a year. I haven't had many of those particularly down days for quite some time now, and that's been great. As much as I am trying to prepare my body for birth, this pregnancy has been a lot about preparing my mind and processing what happened last time and trying to understand how I can avoid that happening again, and working on myself and trying to let go of beliefs or stories that don't serve me anymore. I think I have a delivery, hang on. Basically, I've been trying to avoid having the same experiences I had at the end of my pregnancy with Eden. From about 38 weeks with her is when I started to experience more pressure from NHS maternity services, and really what ensued was 4 weeks of emotional turmoil and manipulation and coercion from maternity services, and ultimately I ended up with a C-section that I didn't want, but I felt like I had no fight left in me, and I agreed just to make it stop, and there's no way to sugarcoat that. So I've been dealing with a lot of that, the memories, and now I'm coming up to that time again in my pregnancy. Largely, I have been practicing keeping maternity services at arm's length, and I have been declining a lot of stuff. I have only set foot in the hospital to have the 12-week scan, the 20-week scan, and very recently I spoke to an anaesthetist. In the event that I should have another C-section, they need to be aware of me and various risk factors. Everything else I've been trying to do just with my midwife or a consultant midwife, and I have not seen any consultants face to face. They have been in touch with me via letter, and they have advised me of what they think would be the best course of action for me, given my obstetric history and my risks. And I appreciate their perspective and the rationale behind their choices, their recommendations, but what they are recommending is not what I'm doing. It's not what I'm going for. So practicing saying no and having a birth that feels more like it's on my terms is very important to me this time around. That sense of agency and being able to advocate for myself, even in the late stages of pregnancy, has been a very good opportunity for me, and it's probably only just beginning, because I'm expecting that I will have some pressure to change my plans at some point. I'm generally keeping my birth plans very close to my chest, not really letting many people know exactly what they are. I have been given permission, and I hate that term when it comes to like, this is my body and I get to choose what happens to it. I've been given permission to labour on the midwife-led unit, which is the floor above the labour ward in the same hospital. I have acknowledged and said that yes, okay, that's fine, but that isn't exactly my plan, and I know it's there if I need it. The hospital is not far away. I don't feel worried, and I want the opportunity to do this on my terms. I'm not anti-medical. I just need to feel like all the choices that lead up to this baby being born are choices that I made with clarity and not from a place of fear, that they are informed and that they feel like something that I want to do 100%. I'm not asking for a perfect birth, because that doesn't exist and birth rarely goes how you expect it to, but I want to feel like I've given it a good try one last time, because this is likely to be the last time. I still have a few things to do. I still got to get a couple of things, like the baby has nowhere to sleep right now. None of their own anyway. They could obviously co-sleep with us, which is what we've done with a few of our babies. But I would like to have a crib, and I also want somewhere to put the baby in the day, so like a baby swing or seat or rocker or something. I don't have one anymore. I have a few things to get for myself, just practical bits, pads and what have you, and I need to pack a bag in the event that I do end up going to hospital. I had one extra growth scan, which I didn't originally want, and I said no to any extra scans. And it was mostly because this measurement down the front, the fundal height, was measuring a little bit small, a little bit behind what it might be expected to be. And so I agreed to have a growth scan, and there was nothing really wrong. They just found that baby's femur length, so that's the thigh bone, was shorter and sort of below range of what they would expect. But I took it with a pinch of salt, checked in with my intuition and my baby, and I felt like that's fine. And honestly, all of my babies have been small because I'm small, and there's nothing actually wrong. It's just that that's how my body makes babies. I very nearly had a second one, but they couldn't fit me in at the place where I wanted to have it. That was outside of the hospital, so I said, don't worry, I'm happy not to have it. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey so far in advocating for myself, speaking up and saying no, and not being a compliant good girl, really. Let's see when this baby comes. I'm excited, I'm ready. They just need to be ready, and I'll be back with another video really soon. Oh, and before I forget, I'm gonna pretend like I don't have something on my shirt, because, you know, I'm quite sure it wasn't there to begin with when I put it on. I don't know what happened, I don't know what that is. But anyway, this is the 37-week bump. I feel pretty big, to be honest. 37 weeks. No stretch marks again. But you can see a lot of like my veins and stuff are like really, really visible. Not long now, hopefully. Please let it not be too long. I don't want to go to 42 weeks really, or anything beyond 42. Please be like 38, 39. That would be perfect.